In this video, I'm going to show you how we lost a client that was paying us $4,000 a month and exactly how we will get him back. So let's get right into the video. Now, the reason I'm actually filming this is because a lot of people, they will show wins and all that kind of stuff on social media, but nobody's actually going to show you when things go wrong. You know, nobody's going to show that. They just want to show you like the wins and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not like that. I want to separate myself, and this is one of the ways that I separate myself. I like to be authentic. So what were we doing before with this client that, stopped working with us? One of the reasons they stopped working with us is because obviously it was first month. We didn't get any sales, obviously, due to how their Instagram was positioned. There was basically no posts for a good while. Their IG account was pretty much dead at that time. So obviously, there could not have been any sales just because it's only the first month. But again, I do take some responsibility and accountability, and I will say that we didn't do the best job of reviving that IG account. We didn't apply some practices and things we could have. So I'm just gonna go over these things, just analyze what went wrong, what were some of the bottlenecks, and what did we miss? How could we fixed it better so that you can perhaps see it and like look at these things and be like, okay, I'm currently facing this. Well, I'm not gonna repeat the same mistake, and I'm gonna take these things and I'll start working towards this instead. Okay, so just a super educational video. So it's like, and how they say, it's much better to learn from somebody else's mistakes than to learn from yours. So learn from my mistakes, fellas. Let's get right into it. So what were we doing before with this account? Now, just to give you some context, this Instagram account, they were like, I'm not gonna reveal it, but like they literally haven't been posting. For months. They had like 4,000 followers, but like those 4,000 followers were like gone, and like I don't know how they got in those 4,000 followers, but it was like they were not active. They were not interested in the content that we're posting. So, you know, if you follow my channel, if you watch some of my other videos, which I do strongly recommend that you do, if you have low followers and you're not getting attention from those followers, you need to regain those followers, because those are essentially what I call ghost followers. Not that they're a bot or anything, it's just that they're not active. So that's the situation. Now, what did we do in this case? Well, this was the cadence that we followed for this particular client. So reels, 7 days out of the week we just posted reels, nothing else. The reels, you can argue they're really high quality. I analyzed them. They're good reels, but because of the nature of how the page was, again, we couldn't do much, right? I can bet if you posted those same reels on a page that was doing like shoutouts, they would have done really well, just because the reels are really good, well scripted, well put together, well edited, all that kind of stuff. But it just wasn't producing a result simply because the audience of that particular account was burnt out, and we didn't take proper actions in order to regain a new audience who are actually going to be engaging with our reels. So that was a really bad move on our end. Now, I'm going to go in a second about what we could have done differently. Okay? So this is what we would have done. Okay, right here. This is, as you can see, a lot more complex compared to this. A lot more. So this is what we were doing, just posting reels. We had some carousels, but we were planning to roll them out on month 2. They didn't want to continue. First of all, I will say, I am not disappointed, but it's like I expected this client to be someone, who's willing to go with us long term. Obviously, that IG account, the nature of that account is like, even if we did apply all these other things, I really don't think we could have done much, because the nature of the IG account is like it needed to grow. It's not something that you can revive after a month. But I get it. Maybe the client doesn't really want to go through a month. Maybe it's just not a priority for them. There's better things they can invest money into. I get it, completely. Another thing that this client didn't want us to do is didn't want us to post on their personal brand, which, I see this mistake a lot with people. Is like they will separate their product and their personal brand as if they're two separate things, but I like to consider them as one thing, because that's ideally the goal. You want to build a personal brand and you want people to buy into you, and then it's like super easy to sell anything. There's a perfect example of this. FitX Fearless is the guy's name. he was building everything around his personal brand, and he pivoted from being a dating coach to being a personal brand coach. And the only reason he was able to do that successfully because people were buying into him, not into the thing he was talking about. So, yeah, just wanted to mention that. And like the main bottleneck, like I said, is we were getting like 500 views, 200, 500 views per video, like super low. And they had 4,000 followers, so they had 4K followers. We were getting like 200 to like 500 to sometimes 700 views per video. Right? The audience is just not active. So in that case, what we should have done is we should have upped the number of followers to like maybe 7K, and that's when we would have seen an increase in organic, and we would have been doing like 1,000 views, maybe even 2,000 views per video, and that would be significant because after that, then that's when you have chances of actually going into the algorithm. That's when the algorithm actually can start to push out your videos more and more and more, and now you have chances of getting like 5,000 views per video, which compared to this is a big change. And one of the ways we should have done that, and one of the ways we proposed to this client to do, but I don't know if they're going to listen to us or not because of this first month, is follower ads and organic. Now, obviously, we were doing organic right here, like all these reels, like they were done organically, but I would have introduced more top of funnel. Like specifically this client, they didn't want us to do these top of funnel, broad videos, just because they were like, they were in the insurance niche. So they were like, oh, we don't believe that these, viral videos that, all that kind of stuff is going to bring us any leads. So they just simply wanted us to treat organic like it's direct paid ads, just call out the ICP in the hook and just like give value. And obviously that was one of the reasons why we're getting these kind of results. It's just like you cannot, with organic, you cannot go niche. You cannot treat it as a direct response ad. So you need to package your video in a way where it's top of funnel, it's viral, and it does speak to your it speaks to your ICP, even though it is considered viral, because that's how you need to package organic. Like you need to speak to your ICP in different ways, in desires, in interests, and like that's why people post those videos like POV. It's 2030, you have 100 million in your bank, you're playing golf, you're playing tennis with your boys. That's a viral broad video, but it's speaking to a target demographic that is interested in a certain thing. They have certain interests, tennis, golf, whatever, and they have certain desires, which is reaching 100 mil by a certain age and just like retiring and fucking off. Okay, so that is how you make a viral video that speak to interests. It still speaks to a demographic. That's a quick example of an organic video. However, they didn't want us to, make those type of content because they believed it's not the right way, which I disagree, and we should have done it in order to get followers. Which, if we get the followers, we're gonna get more view counts. If we get more view count, we get pushed out a lot more. That was the purpose. Now, follower ads. What are follower ads? If you guys are not familiar with those, follower ads are essentially like an organic piece of content that at the end of it, you just say, hey, follow me, and then you boost it, and you get literally guaranteed people to watch it, and pretty much guaranteed people to follow you because of the CTA at the end, and they will directly drive followers. And because they are ads, you pay for them, you get more followers, you increase the followers, you increase the average view ratio, and you have more chances of going viral, right? So that's the point of follower ads. However, the thing with follower ads is you can go as niche as you want. You can go as direct as you want. You can call out a specific person's name, their address, the car they drive, and it's going to pop up on their feed. It's going to be one view, and it's going to be, or maybe 2 views, and it's going to be that specific person and their fucking neighbor or something like that. Because the job of Meta is to give you that customer because you're paying them. So you can go as niche as you want. You can literally target the most qualified people in your niche using these follower ads just because you pay for it. That's literally it. And so you're going to get qualified followers. When you're posting organic top of funnel, you're going to get followers. They may be interested, they may be not interested in what you're selling, follower ads, they will not only be interested, they will be ready to buy. They can be literally directly looking for the solution and they follow you just because of that video, and you can directly DM them, which we're going to talk about in a second. So this is what we should have ran compared to this. Compared to this. In every single reel, our goal was just to like call out the ICP as soon as possible, give them value, pitch a CTA, just because we were, complying with the client's needs and what they thought was the best practices. But after some time, this was actually the best practice that I realized, but you didn't get to apply it. So follower ads and organic, specifically targeting, obviously going top of funnel so we can get more views, not treating it like a direct response ad. Now, what is the purpose of these two? The purpose is to get followers. Now, when you get followers, their followers are leads, okay? And like every single person that engages with your videos, likes, comments, is there a story or a video or whatever, they are a lead, especially if they follow you. I don't remember when was the last time I followed somebody from a reel, but trust me, if I follow somebody from a reel, there's something that really stands out, okay? There's like something that really fucking stands out. And usually, high level people that are actually looking to pay you money, they're like actually following people for intention. They're not just fucking doom scrollers who will follow a meme page just because it's funny and they follow 100 of them. No, high level people who have an intent to buy, they will follow you because they see value in you. They see something unique. So followers, don't take followers as a number. Followers can lead to serious fucking revenue if you crank it. Okay, and followers, as we will discuss before, followers are essentially people who, just like when somebody signs up to a newsletter, followers are people who they subscribe and they let you market to them further. Okay, they let you market to them further. And we're gonna talk about it in just a second. So here's what we didn't have in place. We didn't have a setter in place for this particular client. Like I said, we were just posting reels. Make a reel, either clip it or script it, edit it for them, and post it for them. That's it. We didn't have a setter. But in this case, this strategy 2.0 that we presented to them, we would have a setter who immediately immediately DMs anybody who follows us. Okay, because like I said, followers are leads. So we have somebody follows us from these two, or organic, not organic, but like these two attention generating machines. Boom, we immediately follow them with a setter. Obviously, if they're qualified, we don't want to DM random people. Okay, boom, IG DMs, setter qualifies them, books them on a call, we collect the cash, right? Or let's say the setter doesn't DM them or misses them or they're not qualified enough, right? What happens is, this is something else, again, that we would have done for the client that we didn't do before, is we would now, like I said, they gave us permission to market to them. So we would just essentially put more content in front of them. Okay? Now, when somebody follows us, if we don't DM them directly, they're gonna be in our nurturing mechanism. Nurturing mechanism is something that you use to lead people into the DMs who didn't DM you initially. Okay? So that would be carousels, stories, YouTube videos, lead magnets, and just like feeding them these pieces of content that build trust, build authority, build value, and just gets people to know us. And then we push them into the DMs after all this. After they consume enough content, after they get enough knowledge and value from us, we push them into the DMs, or they just DM us naturally. And the same process occurs. Seller qualifies, books a call, cash collected. Or let's say somebody who comes from organic video doesn't follow us, but they will want the thing we're giving away for free. Then they comment to get like a ManyChat automation, and they will get either a YouTube video sent to them or a lead magnet sent to them, and they're going to consume it, they're going to watch it, get to know us, like us, trust us, all that kind of stuff, and boom, again, they're led to the DMs, the seller qualifies them, books them on a call, we get cash. You see how we turned this, just reels, we turned them into followers, which always lead to cash. Obviously, that's not how it's always going to go. There's always going to be like, it's not linear, okay, it's not linear, but it's simple. It's a simple process. It doesn't have a billion funnels. It's a really simple process. And now what we have here, which we also did not have before, is tracking. So what we would have done for this client is we would implement tracking in order to track every single, video, and that tracks how that video performed in terms of how many leads it got, how many booked calls it got, how many sales that video got. We can even track how much money per lead the seller is getting, and we would track all that data back to organic videos. Okay, so we track what video performs best in terms of leads, booked calls, and sales, and then we push that video back. We analyze that video, and then we repeat that video, and then we just loop the cycle. We just loop the cycle and optimize as time goes on. So do you see how we would have turned reels, just posting reels, editing them like a normal fucking content agency, how we would have like turned them into more cash. It's just a simple cycle. Here reels are the whole thing, but here reels are just part of the system. Okay? So this is what we would have done, obviously, if that client were to come back to us and we were to make him more money. Now, like I said, I'm making this video because a lot of people would never make that video. A lot of people are ashamed to admit that they performed bad for a client. But I think that is really normal in this space. Not every single client is going to be a W. Sometimes you're going to take the L. I will be transparent. I did realize most of these problems that we were facing, midway through working with this client, and I sent them this exact strategy that I just broke down. By the way, this costs however much that client was paying us. We showed them this strategy and they paid us to do it. So you're getting it for free on YouTube. So a lot of value, and you can follow me. You can follow me to get more of that value and check out more of my videos. You have a bunch of followers, but you're getting low views. That's how you can turn that over. You just need to regain those followers. However, if you want me to help you, or either do this with you, implement the system with you, or do it for you directly, feel free to DM me on my Instagram, or you can book a call directly with me and my team, and I can see if you are the right fit to work with me. Other than that, thank you for watching the video. Again, any questions, any things that I didn't cover properly, you can ask me on my Instagram. I answer every single message personally, and that is about it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share this video to some of your friends that you know. This is probably going to help them. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.